Today on Crazy Car Projects, we investigate whether or not these gauges mean anything.
Has it come to that already?
Well, no. I'm fighting with some invasive rose bushes and trying to burn them out so I can get that mess out of here. We're in town, so limited on how much we can burn, so I can't just burn it all out, but I got permission to burn the roses out. Well, I've got two of old fire extinguishers that are showing no pressure. This one, that other white one. This is what it looks like when there's good pressure. This one I had on hand for safety sakes, and you can see being dented, and even age doesn't necessarily matter. That's got good pressure, and that's been in the back of my car for probably 15 years.
Yep. When you're looking at these, you're going to want to look at the ring, you're going to look at the gauge, see the pressure, check the bottom, make sure it's not rusted through. Also, tilt them upside down. If you feel a lump moving back and forth in them, then they're no good.
Plunk, plunk.
Yep.
This one's not as bad, but this one's not completely empty. It's just most of its pressure's gone.
Yeah.
So my theory is this one's not going to do anything, but I've about got the roses burnt to the point where I can maybe get this stuff out of here without tearing myself up. And I picked a wet day, so it won't spread, but also means that it's a wet day, so it just didn't conveniently all burn.
As happens with us, yes.
But let's see if we can get anything out of this one.
Did you pull the pin?
Yeah, pin's pulled. Nothing. Nothing at all. There, I can get a little, if I hold it down, I can get a little bit of powder out of it. So that one.
That one was empty.
And this is not the right way to do it. You don't pull the pin and throw it at the fire.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, duct tape the handle closed first.
All right, see if we get anything out of this one. This one actually still has the pin. Pull the pin. And see if it does anything. A little bit. This one had, I think it's baking soda in it.
Yeah, probably.
One. Yep, that's baking soda.
Well, it was an ABC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this one was showing dead, but it still had something, so.
It was showing almost dead.
Don't rely, but you should have had a lot more pressure and gone a lot further than it did. There's still.
Yep.
But yeah, so never rely on one of these if it's in the red. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's complete garbage. If it's completely zero, yes. But if it's in the red, that means buy a new one and keep these as a backup, or find someplace. I don't know if any place still does this, but there used to be fire stations and stuff that would recharge these. You could take them in and either exchange them for another one or recharge them.
Contact your local fire station to see if they still do that. The other thing you're going to want is to make sure to check what these are available for. This one is a liquids and electrical equipment right here, because some of these are filled with water, and that would be bad to pour on an electrical fire.
Or a grease fire.
Or a grease fire, yes. So you're going to want to make sure you check your extinguisher types.
And like I said, this powder is baking soda. Something I've seen spread around online, which is bad, is using sugar or using flour. Yes, it can put the fire out, but it can also spread the fire. Flour dust and sugar dust is highly flammable. So you're better off grabbing salt or baking soda or something along that line,
right, so,
if you don't have a fire extinguisher.
So what he's talking about is if you're in your kitchen and you have a grease fire, do not grab the flour, do not grab your sugar, grab salt. You're going to want salt, because salt will absorb it, and the important thing here is salt's not going to become a flammable, sticky, napalm-like death mess that's going to burn you.
Yeah, flour, sugar, and oil is interesting in fire.
Yeah, and powdered flour can be highly flammable.
It's a threat you have with working in a mill setting, is they have to do dust measurements, not just because of breathing hazard, but because that dust will explode.
Yep. If you don't believe me, well, he uses it in equalizer too. It's a pretty cool explosion. He also uses it, if you've never seen Man from Nowhere. That's the substance he uses for that big explosion in that Korean film, Man from Nowhere. Anyway, enough of movie nerd stuff. But
this has been your fire safety moment, and
yeah,
to prove that I don't just have that, I have water too. I'm finishing this off, and anything that's still smoking is going to get watered.
Yep.
And I'll be out here for hours watching this, making sure there's not more.
It should be fine, but that's it. Typical safety and common sense stuff. Remember, if you have a grease fire, grab the salt, not the sugar. Do not grab flour, do not grab sugar. Okay, so we're done being professional?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Can we get back to being dumb?
Sure.
Yes, all right. You're the one who brought me out here for this.
Well, I thought about making napalm and showing that, but I figured that would be unwise.
No, we are not doing that, no.
That would be the first end of this.
No, we are not showing how to make napalm. We're not going to show how to make... No.
Second video or second part of this video?
Second part of this video, because this is the original reason why we're out here.
Yeah. It's time to get the Cherokee up and going. It has thoroughly wet its kitty litter.
It's marked its territory. That's what it did.
But I figured out what's leaking. I fixed all the front leaks on that transmission. Well, it's leaking at the seal between the transfer case and the transmission.
Translation, we can't fix that.
Translation, I'm not going to try to fix that on this because I don't want to disturb the rust.
Yeah, that's what I figured the direction of this would go.
But I am going to try some leak stop stuff that's supposed to recondition seals. Put that in there, see if that will get the seal to be happy. Because when this is being operated and it's warm, it's not leaking much. It's when it sits for a little while and gets cold, it retracts and it leaks all the transmission fluid out that's up to that level of that seal. So we'll see if this doesn't... I have to get stuff out of the garage. I don't have the bottle yet. I've been watching a fire.
Yes. So we're gonna get he's gonna get some leak stop. We're gonna put some leak stop in it, and I guess drive it around then. I guess
the transmission and drive it around, get it warmed up. Yeah, I got to put. I'll start with it though, because as of right now, there's not enough transmission fluid in it to move it. At least not uphill.
Okay. So while he's getting his chemicals out, I just want to reiterate that. Although, albeit with my last position, I did have some training in these things. There is, if you want real fire safety prevention stuff, there is better channels on YouTube for the full bit of that. We just gave you the basics. And
they're good to have in your vehicle. I have a brown one of these sitting in the woods at my parents' farm. I had it catch fire. The firewall caught fire while I was driving through the tail end of what was left of a hurricane in North Georgia. So it's pouring rain and the firewall caught fire. And I was lucky I had a fire extinguisher, so I was able to put it out, and all that burned up was the wiring harness going into the firewall. Yep. It didn't set the brake cylinder on fire or anything. Yeah. So if I hadn't had a fire extinguisher, it probably would have.
Yeah, so make sure you have a fire extinguisher, an ABC fire extinguisher at least, in your vehicle. That's what we're saying. Check it every once in a while, shake it, make sure it didn't lump up. He's checking his fluid level. We got the AT205 reseal. Scotty Kilmer would be proud, I think. Lucas oil. Scotty Kilmer would not be proud. And automatic transmission fluid.
I got it all. Remember, this is a Jeep. Modern ones have Chrysler automatic transmissions. These old ones, they vary. This has a GM transmission. It has a 400. So,
GM transmission, manual transmission from the 70s.
Automatic transmission.
Automatic transmission from the 70s.
The good one. You wanted the automatic.
Okay, I got you.
And, you know, I'm just going to... This isn't a complete bottle, but I know it's at least a pint low, so...
Yep.
And I've got to check the fluids. It's been sitting for a couple months.
Yeah, we're going to let fluids warm up and check them and all that stuff. So we're putting fluids in. You can see he's got the funnel there. That is the AT205. We got the other two going in here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's 2/3 of a bottle of this stuff.
Yep. So I'll be back with you after we get all this stuff in there. So we're not starting the car with the lighter, although that would be funny if we could.
Cheap
fuel treatment.
Yeah, just because it's been sitting for a few months.
Yeah.
You don't get any water out of it. Log. It's log. It's log.
It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's better than bad, it's good.
Now let's see if the battery died even though it was disconnected.
Yeah, probably.
It's spring.
No Sparky. I think battery's dead.
It's not. The disconnected battery worked.
Yeah.
Now let's see if I can pick up fuel. Mechanical pumps, it takes a little bit.
It does. Pleasure working with older vehicles.
I have a solution. It's called starter fluid. That's what I do instead of running my battery and the starter motor down.
We have a solution. We have the technology. It's called starter fluid. Is it better to use brake fluid and brake fluid or starter fluid? Because I see people use brake clean, not brake fluid, brake clean.
I would say it's better to use starter fluid because you don't have to use as much. It depends on, I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you're pouring a ton of it down there, then yeah, the brake fluid, starter fluid is more harsh. But then again, it evaporates off, so if you flood it with it, it doesn't take as long to recover from it.
Good to know. It's been a while since we've done these random advice time bits, isn't it? It's been a while since I asked a dumb question, too.
We're moving down this gap here. Helps clean stuff up, too.
Nice chemical smell. Let me back up because that's going to be loud on the speaker. All right, it was not happy.
Yeah, getting the fuel go, starting. It's a lot easier on the starter.
Yeah, it is.
Battery.
It is.
Don't put the camera in the fan or your hand in the fan. It's not good for either one.
I forgot we don't have a shielded fan.
It's done what all old Jeeps do. It ate its shroud at some point in its history.
Yep. Y'all almost got carnage.
Where did the oil fill cap go?
I have no idea.
Okay, apparently it blew the oil fill cap off when it started, so now I've got to find that. There's no back.
Did you check inside there? Because it seemed to blow everything in that direction. I just backed up because it was revving loudly, and I'm like, if this thing accidentally goes into gear, I don't want to be standing in front of it.
The problem's not accidentally going in gear. The problem is it won't go in gear at all. Nope, didn't need it.
No.
Where'd it go? Now I gotta search for it. Oh, this always pops out when it's on the front.
Oh yeah. Now we have to find an oil cap. Whatever happened to the oil cap.
Now, do the rag trick.
Okay.
I gotta figure out where that went to.
If that gets sucked in, I am sending this to just rolled in.
It's fine. Substitute oil plug for the time being. Let's see which one. I think this one's gonna fit good. Yeah, that fits good. just a regular paint cap. It fits okay. Tap it down, it'll fit pretty good. There we go.
It ain't gonna melt in there, is it?
Shouldn't. And that'll work. It even has a little grip and it can breathe a little bit without sucking solids in. We're good. That'll work until I can find where the cap went to.
Alrighty-o.
And it's probably under it somehow.
More than likely it is. Or it fell into one of the
We'll be looking at the video trying to see if it was there before I started or someone borrowed it. Borrowed it over the winter.
Yeah.
But if it was there, maybe we can see where it launched to.
God only knows.
If it went into orbit, I'm naming it Sputnik 27.
What happened to the other 25?
It didn't make it.
Because there was a Sputnik 1, so we're not counting that one. Okay, bald spot time.
Yep.
There it is. What are we dripping?
It appears to be gasoline at a pretty alarming rate.
So what you're saying is with one quick match, we can always find out where your truck is.
Yep.
Or was.
There's a puddle of transmission fluid over there, a puddle of gas here. Drippy, drippy. So I've got a fuel line. I've got a fuel line that has failed.